going to talk about connecting the arts to community. We talk about that a fair amount, and so we want to break that down a bit as far as what we mean by that, and I guess what that community engagement is.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that's kind of the thing now, like art engaging the community. A lot of art touches hot button topics, which we actually are in the show by accident.
Yeah. Exactly.
Recent developments in the news and whatnot about violence against women. But how do you do that? Like, as performers, how do we engage an audience without, like, handing them the microphone or, you know, doing something like that? We want to do a meaningful show, so that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So one of the things we're thinking about is that the power of stories is, I think that it's a gentle way of bringing things or topics to people so they can engage with and think about. And I know the first solo piece that I did, afterwards we had a talk back and someone mentioned how when he was listening to the stories, he always wanted to respond. And if it was just a roundtable discussion, he would have interjected. But being in a performance setting, he had to listen. And he said that was really good for him to empathize with situations that he may not have previously. So I think that stories and art can be a great way to bring up a subject and help us empathize with people that we may not normally empathize with or even understand, and that gives us kind of this way in or nugget of kind of truth maybe in the midst of it, and so that's one way we think we can engage on topics that may be difficult or ones that may bring conflict or people have really strong opinions about maybe.
We're also opening some wounds. I think
Yes.
this show is going to be a sensitive topic to a lot of people. So then our next step is, after you open the wound, what do you do? Because you don't want to just do a shocking show and then say, okay, see you later. Yeah, go home, drive safe.
Yeah.
So we're also looking into ways to do that, which...
Yes, so so the topic is violence towards women, and that being a big theme in the piece. So with a story, we want to share a story that often people hide the shame of the violence they've experienced, and so we hope that by writing a story that people can empathize with someone or be able to be connected to a story that's their own and not feel shame to tell that. So we were talking about, okay, not just leaving people dry at the end and like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm upset. But so afterwards, we want to have resources for people, and even prior to it. So if you visit our website, we're collecting resources on this topic. We already have a counselor who's written a piece of what things to say or not to say if someone approaches you and says they've been a victim of violence. So we have that resource, and we'll be collecting other ones on our website. But after the show, we want to have people who are engaged in this topic in different capacities in their jobs, whether it's a counselor or a doctor, social workers, people who have experience and expertise in this, that they can be a part of it. So we see art in many ways as being a bridge. Here's a story that we can help empathize with people, and then here are ways that we can do something about it in the community. And if we all do little things, it doesn't have to be huge, just little things, we can make a difference on this subject matter. When we started this subject and started working on this project, I had been aware of violence towards women. It's something that I've thought about a fair amount. We've both had instances in our lives where people have approached us about it. So it's something we're aware of. But then this summer, there's been a lot of things that have come up with the football community. And so we think this is really timely material. How can we look at culture in ways that violence is happening towards women, and how can we address that or think about it? And so inviting a panel of people who do have expertise is a way that we can be a bridge, and we can connect. So those are ways we're trying to practically be that bridge to community and art engaging in the world and not just being hidden away.
Right, and we're also, like Sarah said, we're collecting resources now and for after the show. We want people to have a take-home, whether it be an insert in the program that just says, here are resources. If you or somebody you know has suffered from a violent crime, here are people in the Pittsburgh area that you can call. So we're looking for hotlines. We know there there's a women's center. We're also looking into some groups to help with victims of, like, rape victims, things like that. So we want it to be, this is art, okay, we've opened a wound, you need to get your story out. That's what it's all about, is
Yeah.
getting your story out, but then once you do, how do you process it?
Yeah.
So that's our goal.
Yeah, and we think that art can be healing.
Absolutely.
That it can be a way that telling your story can be healing. We think that sharing and hearing stories can be healing. I know stories and books have been healing for me, films at different points in my life, and so we hope that this can be for people as we share it as well, and be that bridge or maybe a step towards the healing process for someone.
Absolutely.
So we believe everyone can be a part of issues that are
Yes.
happening and make a difference. And so we want to encourage people in that. And that's sort of, again, one of the things we're working towards in this project, to engage with the community.
Yeah. We're
around
the
this.
creatives here. So if you're watching this video,
Yeah.
it's because you're a creative.
Right.
Find ways to use that makes you feel fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a way that we're trying to give back to the community, touch on some important issues. It's very fulfilling.
Yeah. And I think I've learned that we can serve people best when we use our passions to do that. So
Right.
we're passionate about performance, and
Yeah.
so then creatively thinking about, okay, how can we use this about subjects we care about and subjects that need to have a difference made in them. This
Yeah.
is one way we can do it. We can't solve all these problems, but we can do one small thing.
That's
and
right.
if we bring other people in, think of all the things.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. So that's what we're excited about with the Mike is bridging that community and that. So if you are working to bridge things in a community or have a subject you're passionate about and want to bring it to a larger audience, share that with us. We'd love to hear about that. You can follow us on YouTube, subscribe. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook and our website, amike.org. So thank you.
Bye.
And here's Daisy. Should we get Daisy?
Yeah.
Daisy's sleeping on the couch, hiding. Where are you? Bored.
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 We have
Hiding.
the dog.
What you doing, girl? What you doing?